wind up being basically just an inning late, which I was a little surprised that I was only going to be this. I thought it was going to be a lot later that I was going to start this. So apologies for that. But hey, it's actually better than I expected. Let me make sure we're working here. I'm just going to flip this over to the box score. I haven't missed anything. It's been 2 perfect innings for both pitchers, Trevor Rogers and Andrew Alvarez. That's not what I wanted. That is Twitter, not YouTube. I will be eating some dinner while I'm doing this also. Just going to let you know. But I got to start pulling up all my tabs and stuff. All right. Good there. Start rocking and rolling. There we go. So I got to pull up the Nationals. So Rogers shoving the fastball so far. Got top 3 of the order out. 1-0 to CJ Abrams here, batting 4th. Let me go grab, where's the Nationals? There they are. Abrams will chop that one foul on the cutter. Nats 41-41 coming into this game, exactly 500. They are really good at hitting home runs, like really, really good at hitting home runs. Though their bullpen has been on a historically bad tear as of late. That is a sweeper. Don't remember Rogers having a sweeper, but he does now. Not a highly used pitch, but gets a good strike there. There is the 4-seamer, and Abrams swings and misses. Strikeout number 2 actually on the night for Rogers at the moment, but first 4-seamer of the sequence, I believe, gets Abrams out. 95 up above the top right corner from the lefty Rogers. Abrams fans that one. Alvarez, there we go. I guess the NHL draft is going on right now. But anyway, well, I need to do this. There we go. Swing and miss. So it's 0-2 now on Dylan Cruz, the 5-hitter. Sorry, I'm still kind of scrambling at the moment, but Cruz hitting 235 home runs, 17 RBIs, 651 OPS. In an 0-2 hole at the moment against Trevor Rogers, who had a really good start last time he was up against the Dodgers, I think is what it was. And swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the fastball. Rogers shoving with that 4-seamer. Strikeout number 3 of the night as well. And that one was pretty much like right down the middle. Cruz just late to it, underneath it a little bit. Rogers shoving through 5 batters, not 5 innings. Would love it for him to do this through 5 innings, but brings up Dalen Lowell hitting 252 on the season, swings and misses, strike 1 on that 4-seamer. But he tapered off a little bit, but had a really good stretch, like kind of early June, late May. 8 home runs on the season. Still a very good hitter, batting lefty. Will ground this one over to Pete Alonso at first base, who fields it cleanly and completes the out at first for a perfect 2nd inning for Trevor Rogers. And I'm going to keep munching on some mac and cheese. So the O's had gone down in order in the 1st inning, right before I was able to get on. Hello there, Kevin. Again, sorry about the late start, but actually earlier than I expected I was going to be here. So it'll be Kobe Mayo, Tyler O'Neill, and Samuel Basayo. Basayo getting a start against the lefty Alvarez, which is good to see. But it is a Actually, I mean, not necessarily a righty-heavy lineup. I mean, you have Henderson, Basayo, and also Jackson Holliday also getting a start against a lefty. No, he's batting 8th back in the starting lineup after being on the bench a couple days due to a groin injury that he suffered, I think last Monday, I think is when it was. I don't know. But wasn't too serious. Holliday back in the starting lineup. Pinch hit on Wednesday, which we do not talk about. And it was managed to somehow top the embarrassment of last week's stream with that game on Wednesday against the Angels. Though the Nats are also coming off of multiple heartbreaking losses courtesy of their bullpen. I think I heard it from Kevin Brown on the broadcast that their bullpen for the Nationals has given up a walk-off home run in the 9th inning for 3 straight games, which is not ideal, to say the least. That's not what you want to do. So it can always be worse. Hopefully it does not get to that point in the game for the O's that they just kind of don't have to go to the bottom of the 9th, but that would be very funny if it happened 4 times in a row. Mayo takes ball 1 from a slider from Alvarez. Mayo up to 10 home runs on the season, just hitting 189 though. Will ground that sinker foul. And so I'm in the middle of also eating dinner since I just got home. So I did not want to run the stream on an empty stomach. But Mayo crushes lefties, is really bad against righties, but is in an quote-unquote ideal scenario here since he is facing a lefty and Andrew Alvarez. Mayo takes ball 2 on a changeup below the dirt. Both Ward and Henderson got into 3-ball counts in the first inning, though nothing came of it. Ward struck out on a 3-2 pitch. Henderson popped out on a 3-1 pitch. But Mayo, in a favorable count here, will knock this one foul on a slider. Alvarez throws a curveball, slider, four-seamer, sinker, and changeup. To righties, it is primarily the curveball, slider, and four-seamer. Lefties, it is primarily the slider and sinker. Does not throw the changeup to lefties at all. And a 2-2 count here for Kobe. The delivery from Alvarez is going to be kind of jam shot over into foul territory and just drop foul. Kind of a half attempt there by the first baseman, Andres Chaparro. Faster guy there probably gets Kobe Mayo out, but Chaparro does not exactly look like the fastest guy in the world. I'll just say that. But this is Alvarez, his 10th game from the looks of it. 3.34 ERA. Coming into today. He's actually a relief pitcher, so this might be a bullpen game for the Nationals. Either that or he's like an extended opener. I'm not sure. Or they're just trying to convert him into a starter. Don't know for that either. Either way, Kobe Mayo is in a 2-2 hole, or a 2-2 count in a moment, and Mayo knocks one high in the air, but not quite deep enough. There's going to be shallow center field. The center fielder, Jacob Young, will put Kobe Mayo out for out number 1 of the bottom of the second. I believe his first name is Jacob also. Yes, Jacob Young. So Mayo just a little bit under that breaking ball there. Now we're back. Brings up Tyler O'Neill, hitting 183. I'll say he's had a better June. Let's just go with that. O'Neill takes strike 1, a little outside on the sinker, but it is called strike 1, no challenge. But we'll just go with that. O'Neill is having a better June. We don't have to look at his stats, though. 1-1 is the count now. Next pitch is lined over into left field, and that is going to be a base hit for Tyler O'Neill. Gets to the wall. O'Neill will trot into second base for a double. First base runner of the game for either team is Tyler O'Neill. Now standing on second base, his 6th double of the season. 104 off the bat. Good swing there for Tyler O'Neill. Kind of just lines a curveball over into left. Easy double there for Tyler. Does the little bird celebration on Pride Night for the Orioles. So happy Pride for those to whom it may apply. I know I have a couple friends who do have that applied to in various different labels, if that makes any sense. I have a couple people who are on the LGBTQIA plus, however you want to call it. That whole spectrum, I have a couple friends on there. So again, happy Pride to them. Getting towards the end of Pride Month, actually, last week right now. 0-1 here to Basayo, who will swing and miss strike 2 on a sinker. One of the 3 lefties in the lineup. So Basayo, 2-homer game back on Wednesday. That was probably the best part of that game. That ball is in the dirt. So 1-2 for Basayo, who again has a ton of power. Though it had a very rocky time over in LA. So some good, some bad, to say the least. Takes in the dirt again on a slider. So it's 2-2 now, works himself back into the count. But Adley Rutschman on the 7-day concussion IL after being hit in the head with a throw while running to first. Against Seattle back on whenever it was, I don't remember. Basayo will kind of poke this one over to second base. This will be an out at first, but advance the runner. Basayo kind of trots leisurely over to first, so it is a productive out, though an out nonetheless. So Nasim Nunez throws Basayo out at first for out number 2. Unfortunately, this means no sac fly, but anything past the infield will result in a run for the Orioles. Brings up Leody Taveras, who has been money with runners in scoring position this season, hitting .256, batting from the right side at the moment with as a switch hitter. Takes fastball outside for ball 1. Next pitch is taken for strike. So 1-1. So 1-1 for Leody. Will take ball 2 on a fastball above the zone. Good take there. Hitting .327 of runners in scoring position, 1 home run, 25 total RBIs. So it's good at just kind of making contact with guys in this position. Takes strike 2 there on a fastball in the zone. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. It's still the American League's so meh that even with how underwhelming the Orioles have been so far, that fastball is way up and away for ball 3. Full count now. But I mean, the Orioles have definitely underachieved, but so many teams in the American League have underachieved. They are still only a game and a half out of the wild card spot. Actually, got better over the last day. They were 2 games out. I think they went on the road trip to the West Coast, finished 4-5, went into the trip 2 games back. They are now a game and a half back. So that's just kind of how it's been. But we'll see. Leody takes outside for ball 4 on a slider that just didn't quite break back in. So runners at the corners now for Jackson Holliday. Yeah, it's really right now just the Yankees, and that's about it in the American League. And maybe the Guardians. I don't know. Everyone else is just kind of mediocre. So Holliday on the first pitch will half swing, just not a good swing there on a curveball in the dirt for strike 1. Not a good start there for Jackson with runners in scoring position here. Well, just a runner in scoring position. 2 on, though. Again, first and third. 2 outs. Holliday in an 0-1 count. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Holliday will foul this curveball back, so he's in a no-2 hole. Holliday was a late addition to the Orioles season so far in the sense that he started the season injured. Broke a hamate bone early on in spring training in his hand. Takes his time here. So he's only been back for like 3 to 4 weeks now, I think. Hitting just 198. So it's taken a little bit for him to get around. See if he can get a hit here. I will address your comment in a second, Kevin. Takes slider there in the dirt. We get a stolen base attempt by Luis Taveras. He is out at second. Taveras lingering around. And we'll see if the Orioles want to challenge here. Throw. Yeah, no challenge from the Orioles. So Leody Taveras is thrown out at second, trying to steal. So we go to the top of the third as the Orioles run themselves into an inning out, unfortunately. Just a good pop up there by catcher Keibert Ruiz. Yeah, Kevin, I think it's the Yankees, the Rays, the Mariners, and the Guardians. I think are the only 4 teams above 500 right now. That's been what it is, I think. Yeah, not quite sure what the plan was there for Leody. He was pretty decent at stealing bases, but I don't know if I like that this early in the game with a runner on third and 2 outs. I don't know, a little too risky in my opinion. So I'm gonna go a little silent here because I'm gonna eat some more of my dinner. All right, so getting here to the top of the third will be Jacob Young, Nasim Nunez, and Keibert Ruiz to face Trevor Rogers, who is perfect so far on the night with 3 strikeouts. The 4-seamer is moving. There is a strike one swinging on definitely not a fastball there. Might have been a changeup. But he is really loving that 4-seamer. There's not a 4-seamer again. That's, I think, another changeup. No swing there from Jacob Young. 5 balls to 16 strikes right now for Rogers. I think it's the changeup that he's been throwing so far to Young here. There's a fastball. It's going to be chopped over to Gunnar Henderson at shortstop. The throw is high, and it's going to lift Alonso off the bag for an infield single. No, probably can charge an error on Gunnar Henderson there. So pretty routine play. I mean, he's at the back of the infield, but the throw just kind of sails on him a little bit and pulls Alonso off the bag. Yep, Jacob Young is safe. But I mean, that's a throw Gunnar Henderson makes most of the time. Good catch by Alonso to at least prevent that ball from flying into the dugout. So scored as an error on Gunnar Henderson, so the perfect game is broken up, though the no-hitter is still in effect, if anyone cares about that. Ball 1 to Nasim Nunez inside with a fastball. Now, I don't know. I feel like we talk about this every week, Kevin. I don't know what's been going on with Gunnar this season. Just does not look like himself. Fastball outside again. So it's ball 2. I guess the first one was inside, this one's outside. But ball 2 on another fastball. Nunez, one of the best base stealers. Excuse me. One of the best base stealers in baseball, hitting 240, no home runs, 27 RBIs. So contact guy, speedy guy. Very short as well. We'll line this 4-seamer over to Gunnar Henderson. The thrower to second is in time. Thrower to first also in time. So Henderson makes up for the error with the double play. Rogers, again, still faces the minimum. So the error is erased. or the base runner courtesy there is erased. But four seamer, pretty not. I mean, kind of right in the. Actually, I don't know if it's four seamer, but weak contact hit the correct spot for the defense. And Henderson, I think, is pretty happy about that. He's yelling into his glove. And this one is lined over to Kobe Mayo at third. Takes a couple of skips. Actually, Blaze Alexander, sorry, he's at third. Kobe Mayo is DHing. But Alexander with a low throw, picked well by Alonso, gets Keibert Ruiz out on one pitch. So Trevor Rogers, again, perfect game is erased, but he's still faced the minimum. Since I think perfect games or errors count against the perfect game. But the no-hitter is still in effect. Rogers still only facing the minimum, induces a couple groundouts there. We go on to the bottom of the third. Will be Jackson Holliday back up to bat, as he was in the box when Leody Taveras was thrown out at second to end the inning. So Holliday, Alexander, and Ward. Alexander having an amazing June. Like one of the best hitters overall of anyone in June. Raises batting average up to 305. Probably should not be hitting in the 9 spot. In my opinion, probably should be hitting a little bit higher up. But I am not Craig Alvarez. I do not make the lineup cards. But after Alexander will be Ward, who again struck out in the first inning on a full count pitch. Go pull up stats and stuff. Alexander, not an everyday hitter. More of an everyday hitter now than he was April and May. Has a 795 OPS. Been one of the better hitters overall for the Orioles this season. Eat more of my dinner, that's why I'm silent. It's like some midshipmen are there from Naval Academy over in Baltimore. I think it's plebe. I think initiation day for the plebes was like yesterday or today, maybe. I don't know. But strike one again to Jackson Holliday here. As again, he's back up to bat. Takes strike two on another fastball there at the bottom of the zone. So Holliday back in a quick 0-2 hole at the moment. It's like he never left. The 0-2 to Holliday will be taken on a curveball for ball one. I am eating mac and cheese. I forget who makes it. I think it's like Annie's or something like that, but it is white cheddar shells, specifically mac and cheese. It is really, really good. I love this. And Holliday will just get a piece of that slider to stay alive. But yeah, white cheddar on mac and cheese. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good combination. It looks like Alvarez had a bit of a talk with Leody Taveras in the dugout after he got thrown out at second. Holliday will check swing. This is going to be kind of pushed over to third base. Third baseman is shaded over to the shortstop side. This is going to be an infield single on the check swing, kind of bunt-ish for Jackson Holliday. Hit exactly to the right spot. Third baseman Mead makes a good play to at least make it competitive, but Holliday with enough speed as kind of half swing rolls over to third. And Mead was shaded more towards the shortstop position because Holliday, the lefty, obviously the pull is going to go over to the first base side, so you don't really have someone shaded over to the third base bag with no one on. So bit of good fortune there for Jackson as he reaches base. Blaze Alexander fouls off sinker there for strike one. Again, hitting 305, 3 home runs, 23 RBIs, 795 OPS, but the June has been immaculate for Blaze Alexander. See if he can get another hit here. Takes good pitch. Probably was a ball. I think actually we're going to get a challenge here from Blaze Alexander. Call to strike, fastball inside. Might have just missed the zone. This will be very close. It did, just barely. By less than 1/10 of an inch, the pitch was a ball. So Blaze, I don't know if Alexander thought it was that close to the strike zone, but he was correct. His intuition has flipped the 0-2 to a 1-1. So in the 1-1, Blaze will take inside. That one certainly inside on the slider for ball 2. Alvarez giving Blaze a little bit of a smile as he's in the middle of relaying signals for that challenge. So 2-1 now for Alexander. Will take strike 2 on a slider in the zone. Making some fish sticks, Kevin. Not a bad idea. Good old Saturday night, or not Saturday night, Friday night meal. 2-2 count here for Blaze Alexander with Jackson Holiday on first base. Alexander will knock this fastball back into the T-Row Price sign behind home plate for to remain strike 2. Still in 2-2 count. But Blaze been more of a contact guy than a than a power guy. The lob over to first base is not in time. Kind of a leisurely lob there from Alvarez. I should probably put the World Cup on as well. I might do that on my phone. Gotta check to see who's playing right now. It might not be. It might play in net 8 actually. That one is going to be no swing. Surprise, not a challenge either. That ball is clipped the top of the zone, but it is called ball 3. So Alexander, a little lucky, stays alive now in the 3-2 count. They might actually be playing at 8 tonight. So in 15 minutes for the World Cup. Senegal destroyed Iraq earlier today. France destroyed Norway. Alexander will swing and miss on a curveball in the dirt for strike 3. So another full count strikeout for Andrew Alvarez. We'll bring up Taylor Ward, who again struck out on one of those 3-2 counts and with a curveball. All right, a breaking ball. It might have been a slider. I don't know that he struck out on, but it was a breaking ball. I had it on when I was making my dinner. Ward takes strike 1 on a sinker. That'll be Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, as well as Uruguay and Spain. I'm going to put that Uruguay and Spain match on because that's going to be pretty big, I think. Ward will chop this one. Also another swinging bunt, and this is going to be no play either. So the Orioles, after getting walked off on a swinging bunt on Wednesday, put 2 on here courtesy of basically jam shots over to the left side. Curtis Mead, no chance on either play there. First and second, 1 out here. That one more of a chopper, but it just kind of dies in the infield grass. Mead playing well back. Had he been playing on the front of the infield, probably could have thrown Ward out. Excuse me. That was not the case. Henderson takes strike 1 on a sinker in the middle of the zone. Popped out on a 3-1 count back in the first inning. 52 pitches for Andrew Alvarez at the moment. Throws sinker inside by Henderson's knees for ball 1. Through 2 1/3 innings, has not given up a run yet. Only issued 1 walk, also has 3 strikeouts. But 2 on here for the O's, 1 out. Henderson takes low with a sinker for ball 2. Yep, I was right there with you, Kevin. I was very tempted to make another video on on that game like I did with the Friday game that was last stream that I have on my YouTube channel, but I was just too dejected to do that as well. And you could kind of tell that was how it was going to end. Henderson will line this one over to first. This will be thrown over to second and kind of pulled off the bag a little bit. The out is at second, so there's going to be a fielder's choice. Chaparro's throw from first was not very good. Pulls C.J. Abrams nearly off the bag entirely. So it is just going to be Taylor Ward erased at second. We'll bring runners at the corners again. First and third, 2 outs here. But this was another double play ball Taylor made, but the throw from Chaparro was not very good. Abrams just barely able to keep his foot on the bag to at least get the out at second. Brings up Pete Alonso, who struck out looking on 3 pitches back in the first, but has been heating up as of late as well. Hitting .252 on the season. June has been pretty good. Will line the first pitch foul on the slider over towards the third base camera well. .221 average, 5 home runs, 35 RBIs with runners in scoring position. Is really bad with bases loaded, but outside of that, it's been not too bad. But has an .815 OPS. Will foul this fastball away, so he's in another 0-2 hole. But O's looking to play to run for the first time today. Also realized the box score has just not been updating at all for the past inning and a half. Or, well, just the whole third inning. But Pete Alonso and James Wood, both guys who have played every game so far for their team. Alonso takes first ball he's seen so far in a curveball in the dirt. Both of them played 82 games. We're now officially in the second half of the season for basically every team. I think it's 81 games is the official halfway point since it's 162 games played total. So we're, I think, in game 83 for both of these teams now. So Alonso in the 1-2 count at the moment. Still down in the count. Will take just high for ball 2 with a four-seamer. So should be Jackson Holliday at third base, Gunnar Henderson at first base. I imagine we will not see Gunnar Henderson attempt to steal, given what happened last inning. Alonso will swing and miss. Strike 3 on the slider. So Orioles strand another couple. We remain scoreless here as we go to the top of the fourth inning. So I'm almost done with my dinner now. So Kevin, you're predicting a 3-2 win. I mean, I could see that happening, even though the Nats have the best offense in all of baseball, and the Orioles' offense is pretty good. It's just, I mean, the Nats have a really bad pitching staff at the moment, especially their bullpen. Orioles' starting rotation has been much better in June. Bullpen has not. Just their bullpen for the Orioles has not been good at all. We get a something on the field, I think. Not quite sure, but brief pause, but we're back again. Brings up James Wood, who's 0 for 1 on the night. Will take strike 1 on a cutter that bends back into the middle of the zone. But the tall, power hitting James Wood, one of the prime recipients of the Juan Soto trade, in an 0-1 hole at the moment, will line this one over past the dive of Pete Alonso. This will be the first hit for the Nationals. Leadoff double here for James Wood in the top of the fourth. Kind of a soft double, but Alonso just barely not able to make it. 20th double of the season for James Wood. Looks like, I think, a changeup, I think, that just kind of hung up a little bit, just out of the reach of Pete Alonso. Just barely. So running scoring position here for the Nationals. Brings up Curtis Mead, takes strike 1 on a four-seamer. Let's see. Curtis is her first name, right? Yes. Been hitting pretty well for the Nationals. Swings and misses there on the fastball, though. Strike 2. Gets foul tip of it, but still a strike. 223 average, though, an 801 OPS, so pretty good OPS there. Trying to see, let's see. Z game log. Hang on. That one's going to be a changeup in the dirt for ball 1. Doesn't look like Mead was injured or anything like that. I think he just hasn't quite been an everyday guy until really June. But batting second today will pop up this changeup. This is going to be a bloop. Just barely off the glove of Jackson Holliday. James Wood will dive into third. The throw gets away a little bit off the dugout wall, so it's not going to be an advancement, thankfully. But a bloop double there for Curtis Mead. Wood had to hold up at second base just in case it was going to be caught. So bad break there for the Orioles. So second and third now, no out against Trevor Rogers. Holliday was trying to basket catch it. It just glances off the tip of his glove. Just barely not able to get there. Luckily, Leody Taveras was right there to back the play up. But Holliday nearly makes an amazing play. And Wood kind of stumbles around a little bit and is able to dive into third. Probably would not have gotten home no matter what. Blaze didn't field it cleanly, but no harm in the end. So strike 1 to Chaparro with a very big opportunity for the Nationals. See if Trevor Rogers can limit the damage. So Andres Chaparro, not an everyday guy for the Nationals, will sky this one in the air behind home plate and foul on the fastball. So 2 strikes again for Trevor Rogers. This is where he's been hurt a lot this season. In an 0-2 hole, or in an 0-2 favor here, as Chaparro will ground this one over to Blaze Alexander at third. He's going to throw home and get James Wood out at home plate for out number 1. Blaze Alexander with the spinning dive and catch for a good play. So the fielder's choice nets no runs for the Nationals. Basayo with a good tag there. Wood was going on contact. Alexander with a really good play, good throw. And Basayo able to reach around, tag Wood well before he gets into home plate. Orioles and tagging runners out at home. Really just anything around home plate. Basayo actually kind of tags Wood in the face a little bit. Luckily, it's all good. So because of that, runners actually do make it to second and third, though. So it is... sorry, no. They just updated first and second. That's what I thought. It didn't look like anyone got to third. The graphic just updated, so now it is first and second one out for CJ Abrams, who is, again, really good at hitting, knocking RBIs, but instead will sky the first pitch on the four-seamer up to Gunnar Henderson at short for 1 pitch and out number 2. So huge second out there for Trevor Rogers against the best RBI hitter for the Nationals. But yeah, basically anything that's been, any sort of play that's happened around home plate this season for the Orioles has usually not gone their way. That time it did. Basayo shaking his hand a little bit, but seems to be all right. Staying in the game at the moment. So brings up Dylan Cruz, who's over 1, swings and misses on a fastball. Strike 1. I think it's Dylan Cruz, right? Yeah, because they have a Dylan and a Dalen. Dalen is actually up next after Dylan, but hopefully we don't see him this inning. Strike 2 there on a fastball. 0-2 again is the count. Rogers been getting ahead of a lot of batters so far this game, which is what you like to see. Strike out away from, well, just a strike away from getting out of this inning. But again, 2 strikes is where Rogers has struggled this season. See if he can get another one here. This one will be lined over to Jackson Holliday at second. Good play there from Holliday. Throws Cruz out at first. Rogers with the Houdini act with a little bit of help from Blaze Alexander. Nationals strand multiple runners including second and third, no out, no score as we move on to the bottom of the fourth inning. Great defensive work there for the Orioles, which is not something that has been said a lot so far this season. But Trevor Rogers, that's been the type of thing that has really killed Trevor Rogers a lot in, like April and May, was getting to those 2-strike counts with runners on and then not converting, like not making good pitches. This time he did. Obviously, defense has helped him out and gets out of the inning. That is exactly what you like to see if you're an Orioles fan. So let's hope the offense can pick the slack up. It will be Kobe Mayo, Tyler O'Neill, and Samuel Basayo. So the three guys up to bat that started when I when I joined in. If that makes any sense. Gonna go try and finish my dinner up real quick. Yeah, Kevin, that could have been very bad, but luckily the Orioles there, the defense finally showed up. It's a miracle. And it certainly helps that Trevor Rogers was inducing a lot of not great contact and having balls hit right exactly to where the defense was. Good work there from Rogers after the allowing the first two on to get out of that with no runs given up. Mayo has taken strike one from Alvarez. Swings and misses now on a changeup, so it is 0-2. Mayo will now take his time. So it was 60 pitches through 3 innings, scoreless for Alvarez. Back on to pitch the fourth. Mayo will ground this one foul on pitch number 63. 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, no runs given up yet. 24 balls to 39 strikes as Mayo will tag this one foul again. All right, but my dinner is finished. Let's go. Let's also pull up the Spain and Uruguay game. Mayo had to go get a new bat, as I guess his other one got sheared off a little bit or something like that. But Mayo with the new lumber in an 0-2 hole, though, against the lefty Alvarez. Mayo will sky this one in the air behind home plate and foul. So 3 straight foul balls for Kobe. Samuel Basayo, who is in the hole, talking with manager Craig Alvarez. Mayo on the 0-2 will knock this one over into right center field. That will get down for a base hit. As it slices away from Jacob Young in center, Mayo ranges over to second base in there for a double. So back-to-back innings with a leadoff double for the Orioles. And is that a goal for someone? No, barely not. But 8th double of the season there for Kobe. Breaking ball there that Mayo just kind of knocks a little bit to the opposite side. Good work there from Mayo. Brings up Tyler O'Neill, who doubled last time he was up. So chance here for the Orioles with runner in scoring position once more. O'Neill 1 for 1 against Alvarez. Takes ball 1 on a fastball upstairs. Corner kick here for Spain as well, as that's going to be caught by the Uruguayan goalie. Uruguay, I think, needs this to advance, needs to win this to advance. Spain, I think, is already slotted in for the knockout stages. 2-0 now on Tyler O'Neill as well. So O'Neill, who again was brought in to match lefties, has not exactly had a successful time in Baltimore whatsoever, but is 1-for-1 against Alvarez at the moment. 2-0 pitch is gonna be called ball 3. That was well in the bottom right corner, but O'Neill gets lucky there with the call, so he's in a 3-0 count now. I don't think we'll see him swing here on the 70th pitch upcoming from Andrew Alvarez. O'Neill does not swing, and it is a 4-pitch walk. That one was certainly ball sinker below the zone. So O'Neill on base for 2 times in a row now. Or, well, yeah, I guess makes sense. Get, I believe, a pitching coach visit from a guy who looks like he's in high school for the Nationals. Like, he looks like he's in high school. He looks very young. So if the results hold, if they were to draw, Spain would win Group H. Uruguay finishes second. So maybe Uruguay wins the group if they beat Spain. I don't know. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia are playing in the other match for this group going on at the same time. I think Cape Verde and Spain actually tied. I think Spain beat South Africa. But Uruguay in that game is in blue. Spain is in red. Being played in Guadalajara, Mexico. Makes sense given 2 Latin American teams. Or, well, I guess Spain's not Latin American. They're just Spanish. Spanish speaking. Ball 1 to Samuel Basayo, who's 0-for-1. Grounded into a fielder's choice, I guess. Would have been a 3 unassisted. But it had advanced Tyler O'Neill to third back in the... actually, it was 2 innings ago, I think, right? Maybe? Yeah. Throw back over to second base, not in time. Yeah, it was 2 innings ago. And then it was Taveras who was up, walked, and then he got thrown out. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm remembering now. But Basayo is in a 1-0 count at the moment. We'll line this one over, caught on a line there by the second baseman Nunez. No advancement, no throwout either, so it is just out number 1. Hit hard, but to the wrong spot. Just not quite elevated enough to get it over the very short Nasim Nunez. Nunez is, because I'm actually going to look this up because he's very, very short. Where is he? There he is. He is listed at 5'8". So actually not as short as I was expecting. I think there's a picture of him standing next to James Wood. We had ball 1 to Leody Taveras. And James Wood is 6'6", so he's almost a foot taller than Nunez. So the deceptiveness was made me think Nunez was shorter. But Taveras takes... Gonna get challenged here. This is probably gonna get overturned to a strike. It's changed up at the bottom of the zone. Looks like this one clipped the strike zone just a little bit. And it did. So good challenge there from Keibert Ruiz. Makes it 1-1. So Taveras walked last time he was up, then got caught stealing at second base. Imagine he'll probably not attempt to steal if he reaches base this time around. But again, runners in scoring position here for the O's. Taveras takes outside ball 2. Peyton Tolley is apparently dominating the Yankees. We love to see that. Red Sox won against the Yankees yesterday, which is always great. Any day is a good day when the Yankees lose. 2-1 here to Taveras is taken for strike 2 on a slider right in the middle of the zone. So I don't think we've seen Taveras swing the bat yet through like 10 pitches he's seen. Jackson Holliday will be batting next unless we have a double play here. But the 2-2 now to Leody Taveras. Pitch is just high. We're going to get challenged. This might be overturned to a strikeout. Will Keibert Ruiz get it? He will just barely. This is going to be strikeout looking for Leody. Not by much, but it was enough. Clipped enough of the zone. So Leody goes down looking. 2 outs now here in the bottom fourth after the O's put 2 on, nobody out. So Jackson Holliday's up to bat. Does have a hit already in this game. Will take ball 1. Good take there on a curveball just outside. So Holliday reached on an infield single last time he was up on the check swing, half swing, whatever you want to call it. Get a piece of a bat. I don't think it was Holliday's bat, but some piece of wood was kind of near home plate that Holliday pointed out. So we're good to go here. The 1-0 from Alvarez to Holliday on the 79th pitch of the game for Andrew Alvarez is just outside for ball 2. Alvarez living right around the edges of the strike zone this game. A lot of breaking balls. A very favorable count for Jackson, with the Orioles still having a runner in scoring position in Kobe Mayo. Holliday takes ball 3 on a slider well below the zone. So in danger of loading the bases is Andrew Alvarez, with Blaze Alexander on deck, who struck out last time he was up. And again, I don't think Holliday is going to be swinging here. I don't believe he will be. On pitch 81, he will not, and is going to take called strike 1. Might have been a little high, but might have all really close. I'll just say that, really close. Could have gone either way. Curious to see what ABS would have actually said on that. Get time called just barely by Keber Ruiz, the catcher for the Nationals. I think that would have been ball 4, but it was really close, and I understand it being called either way. So 3-1 here for Holliday. Will swing and miss, strike 2 on a fastball that was in the zone, top of the zone. So Alvarez has worked himself back into a full count after going down 3-0. Runners will be running here, which is what their job description is at that point. But yeah, full count, 2 outs. They obviously will be going. Holliday will take inside for ball 4, so that loads the bases. Slider that just did not bend at all. So third walk of the game, second of the inning. Brings up Blaze Alexander, who again struck out last time he was up, but has been very good this month. See if he can come through. Orioles looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. Bases loaded, 2 outs here. No score. Alexander lines the first pitch over. That is going to get down for a base hit. RBI for Blaze Alexander. Mayo's home. O'Neill races home. He's going to get home. 2-run score for the Orioles on the first pitch single for Blaze Alexander. O'Neill was off and running. No throw home by the third baseman for the Nationals, Meade. So Alexander just destroys that slider over into left field. He's pointing to the dugout because he knows he's just added some more RBIs to the list. Drops right in front of the left fielder, Cruz. O'Neill with a good break to the plate. And we are up 2-0 for the Orioles. Still 2 on here, 2 outs. Taylor Ward, who's 1 for 2, now up to bat. Swings and misses, strike 1 on the sinker. Was above the zone. But Alexander doing what he's been doing all month. And that is hitting well. Got off to a slow start, but has been fantastic as of late. And Ward will go opposite field here on the single. This will score. Jackson Holliday throw over to third base will be in time to get the out. Blaze Alexander caught at third. He slams his helmet. And this might have been in time before Holliday got to home plate. So the throw from the right fielder, Wood, was perfect. Albernaz says play on. So the Orioles do not score there, unfortunately. Alexander might have been a little too greedy, but good decision there from James Wood. And let's see. There's not going to be a challenge here, but yeah, I think the call is correct. Yeah, unfortunately it was. Alexander probably just a little too greedy there, so The one thing he's done wrong so far today was try and stretch that to third base. So unfortunate there for the Orioles. They miss out on another run, but they do score two on the Blaze Alexander RBI, or 2-run single. That's what it was. So not quite the an end to the inning that they would have liked, but still 2 runs nonetheless. Ooh, Uruguay with a chance. Uruguay with a chance. Nope. Booted away. And someone from Spain is down at the moment. Kind of got hand in the face, sort of unintentionally there, from a Uruguayan player. But it was nearly a disaster for Spain as they kind of gave it up right at the top of the box. But one too many touches for Uruguay. 3 fouls for Spain, 1 for Uruguay. They're not showing. Possession has been more in favor of Spain by a good bit. Uruguay 3 points, Spain 5, Cape Verde also 3, Saudi Arabia 2. Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia is also nothing there. So we'll be Dalen Lyle, Jacob Young, and Nassim Nunez for the Nationals, now down 2 in the top of the 5th. Uruguay intercepts it on the Spanish side of the field. Good passing there, gets it up there as Trevor Rogers throws ball 1 to Dalen Lyle. Blaze Alexander. Looks like he got some of the infield dirt on his neck as well. There's strike 1 on a fastball right in the middle of the zone for Rogers. 41 pitches through 4 innings plus extra 2. So 39 pitches through 4 innings. Lyle grounded out to second last time he was up. Takes strike 2 there on a perfectly located sinker at the bottom of the zone. So Lyle takes his time. 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts for Trevor Rogers. Starting to look more like the Trevor Rogers of last year over these past few starts. Throws fastball just outside for ball 2. But pitched very well in Los Angeles in his last start. Gave up, I think, 1 run over like 7 innings. Might have even been 8 innings, actually. As he's going to get Lyle to strike out on a sweeper there below the zone. So strikeout number 4 for Trevor Rogers here through 44 pitches and 4 1/3 innings. Sweeper that was never in the zone. Lyle goes after it anyway. Good pitch there from Rogers. Brings up Jacob Young. Reached on an error courtesy of Gunnar Henderson, then was erased on a double play. We'll take strike 1 on a perfectly located 4-seamer at the top left corner. That 4-seamer has been cooking for Rogers so far tonight. 12 of 16 first pitch strikes as well. So it has been very efficient for Rogers so far. Will be a sweeper that is going to be lined just foul. Young out in front of that just a little bit. Corner attempt for Spain as well. Cross in will be headed out a little bit and cleared away by Uruguay. So 0-2 hole for Jacob Young, who again reached on an error, so he's technically 0 for 1. But in the 0-2 hole at the moment, we had, I think Young might have taken time as well. Now Trevor Rogers sets to deliver, and will be just outside for ball 1 with a fastball. So 47 pitches now for Rogers. Definitely need Rogers to go deep. And I get there was the off day yesterday, but the Orioles bullpen was pretty taxed. That fastball just outside. Basayo, I think, is going to challenge this. This is a poor challenge for Samuel Basayo because this was well outside. Trying to fish for a strikeout here. He's not going to get it. The Orioles burn a challenge here. Shot from Spain is blocked and cleared by Uruguay. Good 2 inches off the plate there from Basayo, so makes it 2-2. So Rogers now delivers, and it'll be chopped foul on the changeup. I guess that's more grounded foul than chopped foul. That's been my default go-to on those foul balls that kind of go off to the side. 10 pitches first, 9 pitch second, 7 pitch third, 13 fourth now, 11 pitch and counting fifth, as this one's going to be lined into the gap off the wall by the bullpen over in left center. So a hard double for Jacob Young puts him on second base here with 1 out. So the 2-strike moment for Rogers does get him there. That was a fastball that I think that was a fastball. Might have been a cutter, but really close actually to being a home run. Like a couple inches higher, that would have been just barely out of there. So a little lucky for Trevor Rogers that it was just a double. 105 off the bat from Young, who just got all of that one. Brings up Nasim Nunez, who squares to bunt. Does lay it out to bunt, and that is going to be foul. Again, Nunez very, very speedy. Also trying to just push Jacob Young over to third at least. So Rogers once again in a little bit of a sticky situation, looking for a shutdown inning. But again, does have that 2-run lead now. Hopefully they don't have to use all of those 2 runs. So the 0-1 here to Nunez, who squared to bunt last time was up, does not here. Swings and misses at the fastball, strike 2. Did get a brief piece of it, but it foul tipped it right back into Basayo's glove. So either way, it is strike 2 again, 0-2. A lot of 0-2 counts for Trevor Rogers tonight. Let's see if he can capitalize. We had time called just at the end, right when Rogers was starting his windup. So he kind of almost stumbles off the bag. Alvarez groaning at that one. And time called is always given up to the discretion of the umpire, but that was a little late. that was pushing it a little bit. So now we go and swing and miss. Strike 3 on the fastball. Nunez underneath that one. So it is out number 2 for Trevor Rogers in the 5th inning. Strikeout number 5 as well for Rogers. So fastball basically right at eye level for Basayo. Nunez not able to square the bat around on that one. We'll bring up Keibert Ruiz, the 9-hitter for the Nationals, playing catcher. Takes ball 1 just outside. I believe former Royal Keibert. Corner from Spain is going to be headed and bounces around, and Uruguay is going to clear it. Still no score there or in the other game. Now it is 2-0 the count to Ruiz. Sweeper in the dirt. .55 pitches now for Rogers here in the top of the 5th through 4 2/3. On deck is James Wood for the Nats as well. Don't really want to walk Keibert here. Throws strike 1 to Ruiz instead. No swing. Fastball right in the middle of the zone. The 2-1-2 Ruiz is going to be lined right back up the middle. That is going to be a base hit. Falls in front of Leo Tavera, so that is an RBI single for Keibert Ruiz. Makes it 2-1. So the Nationals convert the runner in scoring position at second. Lines that fastball right back up the middle. Orioles luckily still have the lead, but the deficit is now cut to 1 for the Nationals. Young scores standing there. Brings up James Wood, who doubled last time he was up. Takes strike 1 on a changeup in the middle of the zone. So as always, 2 strikes and 2 outs for the Orioles pitching staff this season has been their struggle. Rogers actually did get behind Ruiz in that count, though. Is ahead against Wood here. Throws strike 2 on a sinker just at the outside part of the zone. So again, an 0-2 count for Rogers. See if he can get a strikeout here. Would be nice. Wood does strike out a lot, does walk a lot as well. There is a strikeout looking. 3 straight pitches in the zone, change up right at the bottom. Rogers gives up 1, but only 1. Strands Keibert Ruiz at first. So we go on to the bottom of the 5th. Henderson, Alonso, and Mayo will be up to bat. Orioles up 2-1. Go check some of the other baseball scores. while we're here. Also just checking my fantasy team. Okay, good. He's playing. Paul Skeens is pitching not all that well, but it's positive points at least. Rolled up Perdomo also good with the homer, so that's good. Let's see. Other scores going on at the moment. Red Sox up 4-0. Ooh, love that. Absolutely love that. 4-0 top of the sixth. Save there for Uruguay as well. One hit for the Yankees in that game through 5 innings plus. 5 and a third there. Peyton Tolley pitching very well. Reds up 4-2 over the Pirates. Tigers up 8-0 over the Astros. Rangers up 5-0 over the Blue Jays. Love that score. Rays up 3-1 over the Diamondbacks. Phillies and Mets tied at 1. Mariners and Guardians tied at 1. Royals and White Sox 0-0. Cubs Brewers 0-0. Twins up 2-0 over the Rockies. And then Marlins Cardinals 0-0. And we'll have the Angels and A's, Dodgers, Padres, and Braves Giants playing later on today. And we got the hydration break now in the first half for that Spain and Uruguay game. Tomorrow's the Gunnar Henderson bobble card night for the Orioles. This is what they're showing. So like combination bobblehead baseball card, I guess is what it is. I don't know, it looks a little weird. Don't know if Henderson's the one guy you want to have the bobble card with how he's playing this year, but he has a chance to do something here. Batting leadoff in this inning. Andrew Alvarez still out to pitch. Throws strike one to Gunnar on a fastball in the zone. Pop out and ground it into a fielder's choice. 88th pitch coming for Alvarez here will be grounded over to Nasim Nunez at second. Good aggressive pick there. Throws Gunnar Henderson out at first. So Henderson 0 for 3. Bring up Pete Alonso, who's also 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So Alvarez gives up the 2 runs, still going here through 4 1/3. Has struck out Alonso twice so far on the day. And this actually might do it for Alvarez at 88 pitches. Yeah, this will be the end of Alvarez's night. I know he's not someone who's gone deep into games, started out as a relief pitcher. But interesting that they take him out with Alonso up to bat, given that Alvarez has struck him out twice. But the Nationals are turning to the bullpen, and this, I think, sort of pseudo bullpen game. We'll bring up their Brad Lord, their newest pitcher. Brad Lord. Also a righty, I'm assuming. Yes, righty reliever. Throws 4-seamer, sinker, slider, sweeper, and changeup. So wide mix for Lord. 5-1 on the season, 3.31 ERA. 1 save as well. 51.2 innings pitched. 46 strikeouts. Let's see, what else does he have? Does have 1.0 WAR, or is worth 1.0 WAR. One of the few guys in this Nationals bullpen that's actually got decent WAR. 1.10 WHIP, 8.0 strikeouts per 9. Does not have walks per 9 on ESPN at the moment. Does have 15 walks, given up 6 homers, 19 earned runs, 42 hits. But it is nobody on, 1 out for the O's here in the bottom of the 5th inning, up 2-1. Wouldn't mind the score holding. But that would require the Orioles bullpen to do their jobs, and they have not done that as of late. Well, Yennier Cano has. He's been good. Unfortunately, Rico Garcia has not been good this month. I don't know why, but he has been falling back down to earth heavily after a very good start to the season. Uruguay with a chance here. Uruguay with cross, and oh, that was so close. Fortunately, no one was there for Uruguay on the backside, but they get the ball back here. That was a near chance for Uruguay to put one up over Spain. Brad Lord, opponent sending 218 off of him, 2.6 walks per 9. But Lord is more of a fastball guy from the looks of it. Throws four-seamer a lot. Instead, throws a slider there to Alonso for ball 1. Throws a decent mix of his pitches to righties. Mostly throws the fastball to lefties. But very good at inducing ground balls, I think, is what the stat shows. If it's like a high percentage on baseball's font. Strike 1 there to Alonso on a fastball. So 1-1 for the polar bear, who will knock this sinker foul behind home plate. He's in a 1-2 hole. So Alvarez talking with his pitching coach in the dugout. Again, pitching coach looks like he's in high school for the Nationals. But Brad Lord ahead of Pete Alonso here on the 1-2 will throw slider just inside for ball 2. Just barely. Nationals should still have both of their ABS challenges. Orioles down to 1 after Basayo lost 1. And Uruguay with another chance, but that one is saved. Alonso will check swing. Does he go? No. Fastball above the zone, so it is a 3-2 count now for Pete. Alonso does have the jersey dirty after sliding around at first base defensively a couple times. Takes inside for ball 4, so he reaches base for the first time as a batter. So a couple strikeouts and now a walk for Pete. Trots over to first base. Orioles get a base runner here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Looking to get a run or 2 back after giving up 1 in the top of the 5th. Kobe Mayo is up to bat now. He doubled last time was up, one of the 2 run scorers for the Orioles, thanks to the Blaze Alexander 2-run single. Mayo takes outside for ball 1 on a slider. Mayo much worse against righties than lefties. See how he performs here. Is the DH, though I'm not super surprised that he's not being pinch hit yet, given that it is only the 5th inning. Mayo will knock this one high in the air and foul and out of play on the sinker. I think, maybe. Oh, actually, no, that's actually going to be caught. Masson Cameron was really late, as they thought it was going to be well out of play, but instead James Wood crashes into the foul ground padding over in right field. So it is instead out number 2. So don't blame me there for the late call. That was all Masson there. But Wood, with just barely enough room to make the catch, gets Kobe Mayo out on the foul out. For out number 2. Brings up Tyler O'Neill, who is 1 for 1 with a walk. Another near miss or close chance for Uruguay. That one is a fastball. Good fastball. Clips the outside part of the zone for strike 1. But O'Neill has reached base safely both times he's been up so far this game. See if he can go 3 for 3. Takes another fastball. That one's going to be called a ball. Might have caught the plate. So it's 1-1. No challenge from either Ruiz or Lord. The strike zone has been a little small so far overall tonight for the umpire. I don't know who it is, but been a little small as O'Neill's a little late to that fastball. Fouls behind home plate. Sinker, actually, but fouls it anyway. 1-2. Again, has doubled and walked against Andrew Alvarez. Was the other run scorer from that Blaze Alexander 2-run single. The winning run currently by technicality. And he's late to that fastball as well, but got a piece of it, so he fouls it away. Still 1-2. But I would love for him to be the winning run, but I also would love for the Orioles to score some more runs as well. Just as long as they keep the Nats to 1 run, that would be great. The 1-2 here for Tyler O'Neill will be not swung on, taken for ball 2. Sweeper that breaks outside. O'Neill's worked himself back into a decent count. Free kick here for Uruguay as well. Been a bit more on the attack as of late against Spain. But 2-2 for Tyler O'Neill. Righty against righty here. 2 outs, run on first, bottom of the 5th. Outside for ball 3. Slider. So full count now for Tyler O'Neill. Spain's goalie was well out of position there at some point after that free kick, but Uruguay not able to capitalize. And it is eventually cleared by Spain. They have a chance, but nope, it is intercepted. Good D there from Uruguay. And O'Neill's going to take inside, so he walks for the second straight time. So another base runner for the Orioles here. Get a pitching coach visit from, again, the high schooler. I'm just going to call him that. Honestly, it looks like he could be an Orioles draft pick with, his young white guy with very striking blonde hair. Very, very much in line with the Orioles draft strategy as of late for the Mike Elias way. You Gunnar Henderson, Heston Kjerstad, Kyle Stowers, Jackson Holiday. There's a lot of those guys. Where that sort of vibe. Vance Honeycutt as well. I think he's blonde. I want to say he's blonde. And near miss from Spain there. No goal. Samuel Basayo off to bat. He is over 2 at the moment. But again, homered 2 times in the game on Wednesday, last game the Orioles played. The possession graph has still very much in favor of Spain, but Uruguay's been putting a lot more pressure on Spain as of late. Though they only have 1 shot at the moment, so they've not been able to actually capitalize on their pressure. Basayo on the first pitch will take low. Ball 1 on the sweeper after the mound visit from the Nationals pitching coach. No idea how old he actually is. He just looks very young. But the lights are on now at Camden as the sky is darkening there over in Baltimore. The 1-0 from Lord to Basayo. Again, is 0-2. Takes all the way on a fastball in the middle of the zone for strike 1. 10 balls to 7 strikes for Brad Lord coming out of the bullpen. He's got a foul out in the game already and walked 2 batters. Basayo a little late on that fastball at 95, so it is a 1-2 count. Came into this game with an out already in this inning, so he's only gotten 1 out. And it is on that foul out from Kobe Mayo and has issued the 2 walks to O'Neill and Alonso. Basayo in the 1-2 hole at the moment, batting from the left side against the righty pitcher. Delivers and is outside, well outside on the fastball, 2-0. Or sorry, 2-2, not 2-0. Yeah. It evens up the count for Basayo. Leo Tavares on deck. So Basayo and another big moment here for the O's with a runner in scoring position. He will ground this one over to Nasim Nunez at second. Flip over to first base is in time for out number 3. Basayo trotting along. Does not feel like running that one out. Would not have been safe no matter what. But O's strand a pair again. They've stranded 7 in the game. It's still up 2-1. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Should be Curtis Mead, Andres Chaparro, and CJ Abrams, I believe. Because, yeah, Wood struck out looking last time he was up to end the inning. Uruguay just misses that shot. Goes a little high. But it'd be pretty big if Uruguay beats Spain here. That shot was on line just a little bit high of the crossbar. Had the lane for it. So it'll be a goal kick there. So another close game for the Orioles here. So the Kevin, your prediction of that 3-2 victory is looking pretty good at the moment. That's for sure. Both World Cup games at the moment still scoreless. 0-0 for all 4 teams. Get a throw in here for Uruguay from the looks of it. I'm half tempted to stream the Orioles, or not the USA Bosnia game. Not that I know much about the World Cup, but I'm definitely getting swept up in the fun of it. And hopefully the USA can win. Yeah, you should be a fortune teller, Kevin. You gotta You're pretty spot on right now. I think both teams would need to score one more run, and then you'd be really spot on. Rogers back on to pitch for the Orioles. Left 3 on base for the Nationals, given up 4 hits, 1 run. Has struck out 6 at the moment. Threw 60 pitches through 6 innings, so averaging 10 pitches per inning. All right, actually, no, never mind. Threw 60 pitches through 5 innings, so it's averaging 15 pitches per inning. Threw the most pitches last inning, I'm pretty sure. 14 balls to 46 strikes, though. He's been very efficient in the strike zone. There's strike 1 on a changeup. Just clips the outside part. May have been a ball, but we'll certainly take it. And the fastball velocity has ticked up a good bit for Rogers as well. Gets Curtis Mead to sky this changeup up behind home plate. Basayo ranging toward the Orioles dugout will make them out. So 2 pitches, 1 out for Rogers here to start the 6th inning. Yeah, don't know why Rogers was struggling so much early on this season, but he's looking more like the Trevor Rogers we saw last year over these past few starts. Definitely looked like it tonight. Have run into a bit of traffic on a couple innings, but overall has been pitching very well. Andres Chaparro, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, also grounded into a fielder's choice. Takes strike 1 called. That one was certainly a ball on a changeup above the zone, but we'll take it. So 0-1. 16 of 21 first pitch strikes now for Rogers. He's been really good at getting ahead of batters. There is a ball. That one is certainly a ball. Outside, fastball. 1-1. So 1-1 here for Rogers is just below the zone for ball 2. We got a Spanish player down on the field, writhing in pain. How much pain he's actually in, who knows? But kind of got he did get hip checked in the thigh, so I do agree that he's probably in pain. That one is fouled back by Chaparro, 2-2. I mean, I don't think he's in excruciating pain, but I also don't imagine getting hip checked right in the right thigh is going to make your thigh feel any good. But 2-2 here for Rogers against Chaparro, looking for another strikeout. Will instead get him to sky the ball foul. So we'll go again. Another fastball. Been throwing that 4-seamer a ton tonight, has Trevor Rogers, and it has been working. But has, again, been much better as of late. There's a sweeper that is not able to bend in, so a 3-2 count now for Rogers. Has yet to walk a batter. Now in danger of doing so against Chaparro with C.J. Abrams on deck. So the full count pitch to Chaparro is going to be knocked high in the air, deep to left field, but not deep enough. Probably would not have gotten out there either with the old wall, as Ward makes the play over in left field. Was more high than deep. Looked like a kind of home run swing there for Chaparro, but I think he got under that a little bit on the fastball. So it is a fly out to left. No harm there for Rogers. He goes, gets 2 down there. I also realized the box score was did not want to update all that much in the bottom of the 5th either. It brings up C.J. Abrams with nobody on here. He's 0 for 2. Takes strike 1 on a sinker that runs right in the middle of the zone. And more like right middle of the zone rather than dead center, but still well in there. Has struck out and popped out in his 2 plate appearances. Takes cutter there that is below and away. Ball 1. Spain looking to try and press the advantage. Uruguay player is down writhing on the field. Abrams takes outside for ball 2 on a 4-seamer. Rogers throwing a few more balls this inning than he usually has been tonight. And another Spanish player goes down. 2 Spanish players are down. They're still on the attack, though. Cross in is going to be... No, that is going to be a goal for Spain. Oh, my goodness. What? That's insane. There were 4 Uruguayan defenders around him, and they just stood there and watched him shoot the ball. And it just kind of dribbles in. The Uruguayan keeper can't even field it cleanly. That's really sad. 3-1 here for Abrams is going to be taking strike 2. So back-to-back full counts now for Rogers. That is just a sad goal there for Spain. 2 of their attackers are down on the field looking like they've passed out from heat stroke. And the one guy that is surrounded by the defense manages to score. 3-2 here is swung on a miss. Strike 3 on the cutter outside of the zone, but Abrams swings anyway. Rogers looked like he was walking the wrong direction. Got a lot of midshipmen there, actually. Might be plebes. I don't know. I think it's getting to plebe summer there at the academy. So they're watching the game. Rogers is having a good one, and just poor job by the Uruguayan keeper. The ball is in his hands, and he can't hold on to it, and it just backspins right into the goal. That is very embarrassing. Just gets his hands on it, but got his hands underneath it instead of on top of it. Nutmeg, the Spanish guy nutmegs the Uruguayan defender with the shot as well. That is embarrassing if you're Uruguay right there. Spain leads 1-0 now against Uruguay 42 minutes into that game. Rogers threw 6 innings, giving up 1 run, up to 7 strikeouts as well. So good for Trevor Rogers, good for Spain, bad for Uruguay, bad for the Nationals. That's your update. Verde and Saudi Arabia also scoreless still. They are at the half from the looks of it. So I guess they must have started like a little bit sooner. So let's see. Someone's getting stretchered out as well. So the Uruguayan attacker who was kind of just by midfield, he's going to have to be stretchered off the field. So hopefully he's all right. Not sure what happened there. I can't even tell like who. They're showing the replays. I can't even tell who like got injured, but he is being carried off on the gurney by the FIFA crew, scraping him off the field. They got soccer to play. Strike 1 from Brad Lord to Leody Taveras. Brad Lord back on to pitch again, so I think kind of an extended bullpen game. Uruguay, I think, is now down to 3rd place if these results are held. That would advance Cape Verde as Leody Taveras is going to ground this one over to first base. Chaparro fields it, throws over to Lord for out number 1. Would be pretty crazy if Cape Verde makes it over Uruguay. That would be insane. I think if Cape Verde wins against Saudi Arabia, they might advance nonetheless. I don't know, but they're in a favorable position at the moment. Jackson Holliday, who's reached base both times he's been up, singled and walked, is now up to bat for the 3rd time in the game. Orioles looking to get another run or two to extend their lead. Holliday foul tips that one back into the mask of Keibert Ruiz. Strike 1 on the fastball. Yeah, I think time called. Holliday steps in and out of the batter's box, but he's back in now. 23 pitches currently for Brad Lord. An 0-1 count against Holliday, who takes strike 2 on a sweeper that bends in the middle of the zone. So 0-2 hole for Jackson Holliday. I got to check what time the USA plays against Bosnia. Holliday is going to strike out swinging. Chases a fastball above the zone, swings underneath. He goes down on 3 straight pitches for out number 2 of this very quick bottom of the 6th for Brad Lord coming out of the bullpen. So the command has been much better for Brad Lord in the 6th inning compared to the 5th inning. So Blaze Alexander, who singled last time he was up and drove in the 2 runs for the Orioles, then got caught trying to range to 3rd base on the Taylor Ward single to end the 4th inning. Takes strike 1 on a fastball there. I think that's actually a sinker. 8 minutes of stoppage time as well for the first half there in Guadalajara. There is a ball from Lord on the slider. Alexander takes. So Kevin Brown and Brian Ripken calling the game for the Orioles tonight. Alexander will be a little late on that sinker. Fouls it away. Kind of bends the knees. Don't know if it's what it was for, but it might have just been a little off balance. Alexander takes his time in a 1-2 hole at the moment. Doing the wave over in Camden as well. Pretty good attendance there on a Friday night from the looks of it in the Beltway battle. 1-2 for Alexander is going to be taking strike 3 on a fastball in the zone. Alexander, no swing. So 1, 2, 3, 6 inning there for Brad Lord. Quick 6 inning there as well. Quick 6 inning, both top and bottom. We go to the 7th. Orioles still up 1. Will be Dylan Cruz, Dalen Lyle, and Jacob Young. Young, the lone run scorer for the Nats so far tonight. Hopefully that remains that way. Go check real quick on when the Team USA is playing Bosnia on Wednesday. Red Sox up 5-0 now. Love that. USA and Bosnia, 8 o'clock. Okay, I might stream that one, actually. I might just do that. Although it depends on how much work I have to do for the June recaps. But I'll probably stream that, I think. I might do that. Branch out a little bit, you know? Despite my limited knowledge of soccer, I know who Christian Pulisic is. And I know that Alex Freeman is the son of Antonio Freeman, who played for the Packers. That's about it. I don't know if I can name anyone in Bosnia. But Bosnia is a third-place team, but they've accrued enough points that they're able to advance. That match is decided. I think I think it's being played in San Francisco as well, or Santa Clara. The Niners Stadium, I think, is where that one's getting played at. So Spain's playing keep away on the midfield at the moment from Uruguay. They advance it. Spain on the attack. Spain with pass in and good D from Uruguay will force a goal kick, I believe. Yep, good defense there from Uruguay. So Dylan Cruz up to bat for the 3rd time against Trevor Rogers. He's over 2. Will drop this one just foul. So he's a no-1 count. 76 pitches now for Rogers. So 75 through 6 innings. So actually exactly on that 15-pitch pace through 6 innings. That's very impressive. Exactly on the average. Cruz will line this one. Oh, wow, that's a fair ball. This is going to be a double for Dylan Cruz. And somehow that was a fair ball right down the third base line. So leadoff double for Dylan Cruz here in the top of the 7th. 5th double of the season for Cruz. Was a changeup that hung up a little bit too much and lined. Yep, just barely fair. Mayo in with no chance, or Alexander, sorry, no chance to make that play. Brings up Dalen Lyle, who's 0 for 2, but been a good hitter for the Nats so far. Sweeper, ball 1 from Rogers. Has grounded out to first and struck out. See if Lyle did not square to bunt. Will swing and miss on a fastball there, late to it. Strike 1. So my guess is Rogers probably won't throw the changeup that much this inning anymore after allowing the double to it. There's another fastball taken for strike 2. Great pitch there from Rogers. Looking for a strikeout now against Lyle. See if he goes a bit more elevated for a fastball here or if he goes to a breaking ball. My guess is he's going to go breaking ball and then elevated fastball is what I think he's going to go with. Sayo setting up a little low. There is a sinker that was below the zone. No swing. 2-2. Jacob Young on deck. Doubled last time he was up and eventually scored. Rogers will have to face him nonetheless as Lyle will foul that sweeper off. We go again at 2-2. Free kick from Uruguay goes over to the opposite side, so it's going to be a throw in there. 2-2 again for Rogers against Lyle with with Cruz at second. Fouled off again. So Dylan on base, Dalen at the plate. 83 pitches now for Rogers here in the top of the 7th, looking to keep this game a 1-2 game. Cutter fouled away again, so Lyle's been able to stay alive on the 2-2. We've not seen the fastball gone back to, the four-seamer, I should say. Uruguay looking to try and get a chance here. Uruguay, ooh, just saved. Good chance there for Uruguay, but nothing. No result in the end. Rogers throws a cutter that is just fouled again. Very surprised we have not seen another four-seamer from Rogers in this sequence. Tyler Wells warming in the bullpen for the Orioles. He's actually been pitching pretty well as of late. There is the four-seamer that is fouled off, so that one doesn't work either. That one was in the zone, though. I'm surprised he's not trying to elevate that a bit more. But good battle here between Rogers and Lyle. Again, with Dylan Cruz at second, nobody out here in the top of the 7th. There's a sweeper that is popped up in the infield. Henderson will make the out. So the long battle is eventually won by Trevor Rogers for out number 1. Very big as the runner does not advance. So halftime as well in the Spain and Uruguay game. This will also be the end of the night for Trevor Rogers as Greg Albanaz will walk out. Rogers has struggled a little bit with endurance this season. We did have on stream about a month ago against the Blue Jays. Rogers was pitching really well against the Blue Jays, then just kind of ran out of gas, gave up a pair of 2-run homers. Orioles eventually lose that game 6-5. But Rogers pitches very well tonight, does leave the tying runner at second with 1 out. Tyler Wells will be on to pitch. So go from the lefty to the righty. See if Washington wants to use a pinch hitter here or not. I'm not quite sure. But Wells, four-seamer, cutter, changeup, slider, and curveball. Having a nice bounce-back season for the O's right now. So hopefully he can hold down the fort. Will be Jacob Young up to bat, then Nasim Nunez, unless we have a crazy double play. I doubt that will happen. But hopefully Wells can escape the jam and leave Rogers with just 1 run given up. And more importantly, have the Orioles maintain their lead. For the Orioles, it will be someone up to bat. And I think it'll be Leody Taveras up to bat in the bottom of the 7th. Taveras, Holiday, and Alexander. Looks about right. Pretty sure that's what it is. Let's go check that scoreboard real quick, unless it is the end here. Red Sox still up 5-0. Love that. So, yeah. 5-0, bottom of the 7th for the Red Sox. Pirates and Reds tied at 4. Tigers still up 8-0 over the Astros. Rangers up 5-0 over the Blue Jays. Rays up 4-1 over the D-backs. Phillies up 2-1 over the Mets now. Guardians and Mariners tied 1-1. White Sox up 10-0 over the Royals through 4 innings. That is crazy. They put up all 10 of those runs in the 3rd inning, I might add. That is, wow. They're now up. Oh, Royals just scored. So they're up. It's now 10-1. But 3-run homer for Miguel Vargas. Chase Mydroth, infield single. Peters, 2 RBI single. Gonzalez, 3-run homer. And then Vargas double. Wow. Cubs up 1-0 over the Brewers. Twins up 4-0 over the Rockies. Marlins, Cardinals tied 0-0. Tyler Wells on his first pitch to pinch hitter Tenna will be just inside on the changeup. Well, actually more than just inside. Well inside on the changeup for ball 1. So we get a pinch hitter for the center fielder, Jacob Young. It is Jose Tenna. I don't think it's Tena because he doesn't have the NA on his end. So Jose Tenna, the lefty pinch hitter, the 1-0 count here, will sky this one in the air. Basically to the back of the infield. Henderson will take charge and make out number 2. So another unproductive out for the Nationals. 2 straight pop outs. The pinch hitter does not work there for the Nats in that one. Brings up Nasim Nunez, unless they want to pinch hit for him there as well. Tenna, also an infielder, is listed. Don't know who's going to play center fielder for them now. Luis Garcia Jr. is pinch hitting as well for Nasim Nunez. 13 home runs, 49 RBIs, 263 average. So he's been one of their better hitters of the season. Bats lefty, so obviously did not get a start against the lefty Rogers. Now against the righty Wells, he comes in to pinch. Comes in to hit. First pitch is strike one on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. Great pitch there from Tyler Wells. And it's Dylan Cruz still lingering at second base after the leadoff double. Garcia has homered in 3 consecutive games, I think is what that stat just said. Swings and misses, though, on the changeup there for strike 2. So he's in an 0-2 hole. South Africa and Canada look to be playing in the knockout round, I think is what that graphic just said. But Garcia coming off the bench in an 0-2 hole against the reliever Tyler Wells. See if he can get a strikeout here to get out of the jam. Top of the 7th here, 2-1 Orioles, Nats with a runner on second base. The 0-2 pitch from Wells to Garcia Jr. is knocked foul. Cutter that was a little underneath and a little late from Garcia, but got a piece of it. Stays alive. Still 0-2. 5 pitches for Wells at the moment. Did already get 1 out. Needs a critical out here to keep this game in the hands of the Orioles. This one is going to be lined over to Gunnar Henderson at short on the hop. Thrower to first base is in time for the 3rd out. The soft grounder there gets Trevor Rogers out of the inning and Tyler Wells as well. The tarps off section at Camden Yards is buzzing as the Orioles strand the runner, keep their lead at 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Great work there from Tyler Wells out of the bullpen. Him and Trevor Rogers working around the leadoff double. Rogers rounds off his night. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits given up, 1 run. That one was earned. No walks, 7 strikeouts. So not a bad performance at all. That is a quality start there for Rogers. Love that. Definitely going to lower. The ERA is now under 5 for Trevor Rogers as well. So that is wonderful. So I'm not sure if the Nats are just going to keep rolling with Brad Lord because he has been pitching very well. Gave up the 2 walks to start out, but has not given up a hit yet. Does have 2 strikeouts as well. Nats with 7, well, both teams actually with 7 total strikeouts from their pitching staff tonight. Rogers with all 7 of those. Andrew Alvarez with 5. Brad Lord with 2. And again, should be Leody Taveras, Jackson Holiday, Blaze Alexander up to bat. Unless we get a pinch hitter here. Don't know if we will. I mean, I doubt we'll get a pinch hitter for Taveras. Maybe they pinch hit Colton Cowser for Tyler O'Neill, but even then, O'Neill's having a decent time at the plate. Actually having a really nice time. He's doubled and walked twice. So you don't really want to take his bat out at the moment because he has actually been one of the better hitters for the Orioles. Obviously, Kobe Mayo is in the DH spot at the moment, but he's also 1 for 3. But maybe you pinch hit someone like Colton Cowser there just to put a lefty in that, but that's also not for a little bit. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's see if I missed anything going on in the world at the moment. First pitch to Leody Taveras will be a liner over into center field. That will, no, the infield grass is center field. And actually, Taylor Ward, sorry, I am completely off on who's up to bat. Taylor Ward with the kind of jam shot up the middle. Was caught by the second baseman, who is now Chaparro, I think. No, he's at third base, sorry. Curtis Mead now at second. Thrower to first base was accurate, but not in time. So Ward reaches on the infield single. There's a lot that just happened right there. Brings up Gunnar Henderson, who's over 3. Brad Lord still on to pitch also for the Nats. 30 pitches currently. Henderson takes strike 1 on the sweeper. So defensively with the 2 pinch hitters. So Curtis Mead goes from third to second. Andres Chaparro goes from first to third. Dylan Cruz goes from left to center. Jose Tena goes to left field, and then Luis Garcia Jr. goes to first base. Henderson takes strike 2 on a 4-seamer in the zone. And that is, yeah, I think that's everyone now. So Tana goes to the outfield. And then they just bumped Cruz over from left to center. Okay, that's what it was. Anderson in the 0-2 takes ball inside on the fastball. All right. They're showing replay. Yeah, they're showing replays of that game. Still at halftime for the Spain Uruguay game. 1-2 for Gunnar, who was over 3 against Brad Lord here. Will ground that one foul. Believe Henderson has not faced Brad Lord yet. Listening. Hang on, listening to something. Someone fired their GM. I think it was the Angels. Henderson just gets a piece of that fastball, fouls it away. Let me actually go back to Twitter. So someone in Major League Baseball has fired their GM. I'm going to assume it's the Angels because I think that's what I heard. Carlos Mendoza, the Mets manager, also got fired early today, I believe. Jacob Mizorowski hit 105.5 miles per hour on with his fastball as well. That's insane. Henderson takes a changeup below the zone, ball 2. Apparently, there's a very funny clip involving Mets reporter Mendoza. Yeah, Angels have fired GM Perry something. Hang on, Henderson fouls that one away. Still 2-2. Perry Minazian. So, not surprising given how bad the Angels are. And they have first-year manager in Kurt Suzuki, so they're not going to fire him, especially not this early in halfway through the season. I don't know. There's something about Carlos Mendoza that I'm gonna. Oh, that's funny. Henderson's gonna strike out here. So there's the Mets reporter, I guess, is talking about the Mendoza firing, and Mr. Met just shows up behind him and is dancing behind him. That is so funny. Oh my god, that's so Mets, man. Mr. Met's just doing a dance behind the reporters. He's talking about Mendoza getting fired. That's hilarious. Lon's a little late on the sinker there, strike one. That is so funny. I feel bad for Mets fans because it's been a train wreck this year, but that is really funny. 0-1 for Alonso after Henson struck out. It's going to take ball 1 on a sweeper. The Red Sox are crushing the Yankees at the moment. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit for Peyton Tolley as well. He's dominating them. Angels, it's been a rough stretch for the Angels as of late. 1-1 to Alonso is outside for ball 2 with a sweeper, which makes it even worse that the Orioles lost the series to them. Like, of course, they get no hit through like 5 innings from a guy who has a like 12 ERA and then choke it on Wednesday. That was so frustrating. So 2-1 for Alonso, takes ball 3. Good voice crack there. Sinker below the zone. But I think Alonso, even with the Orioles not playing, all that great this season, I think he's probably happy to not be in New York at the moment with how they're going. It's been a train wreck there, to say the least. 3-1 for Alonso is taken for ball 4, fastball below the zone. So 2 on now, 1 out for Kobe Mayo. We'll get a mound visit from the, I almost said Dodgers. That's not correct. Nationals pitching coach. Mayo 1 for 3 with a double. Get a full-on infield visit from the Nationals. They try and figure out what to do here. Orioles have struggled a decent bit with runners in scoring position. I think they just have 1 hit, and that was the Blaze Alexander. I guess technically they did have the Taylor Ward hit as well. It was just Blaze Alexander getting thrown on a third negated a run there. Pretty crucial run at the moment with how this game's going. But see if the Orioles can get one here. Trevor Rogers still lingering in the dugout as he watches. Mayo fouled out last time he was up over into deep right field as Masson almost didn't pick it up. That might have been against Brad Lord, I think. Maybe? I don't know. 43 pitches currently for Brad Lord out of the bullpen. Mayo will foul the first pitch away on a sweeper. Just got a little bit ahead of that one. Mayo, not great against righties. Very good against lefties. Lord, a righty pitcher here. It's been cruising overall. Still has yet to give up a hit, but does have a couple walks. So 0-1 for Kobe Mayo. Will line this one over into left field. That is going to be a base hit. That will score a run. 3-1 Orioles. Alonso's going to range to third. He's going to stop there, but that is an RBI double for Kobe Mayo off of the righty Brad Lord. Ward reaches home plate. And actually, I think Ward got a hit off of Brad Lord. Never mind. So he's gave up the one hit before that. Now gives up the RBI, a double to Kobe Mayo. That looked like a changeup or either a changeup or a sinker, one of the two. Hung up a little bit and just laced over toward the Budweiser sign by the splash zone. Kobe Mayo comes through there. Orioles now second and third, one out here. Brings up Tyler Neal, who has reached base all 3 times. 2 walks and a double. First pitch is going to be fouled back behind the plate on the sinker for strike 1. As Spain and Uruguay get underway in the second half. But Mayo comes through in a big moment there. Orioles with another knock in with runners in scoring position. Big there as they'd struggled this game with those. But a crucial third run there for the Orioles. Extends the lead back to 2. But O'Neill doubled first time it up, then has walked last 2 times in an 0-1 hole at the moment. Alonso at third, Mayo at second. First base is open. 1 out here. 46 pitches for Brad Lord, bottom of the 7th. And we get, I think time might have been taken. The umpire was talking with Brad Lord about something. Not quite sure what it was. Don't think we got a pitch timer violation or anything like that. Just confirming what was going on. But O'Neill in the 0-1 hole at the moment with a chance to really add on here for the Orioles. Will take inside. Ball 1 on a sweeper. But that was a sinker that just hung up right in the zone for Kobe Mayo, and he lines it over in the left. Which is a great sign if Kobe Mayo can start hitting righties like that. That would be awesome. But O'Neill with a chance. 1-1. Will take good pitch there. Slider right at the outside part of the zone. O'Neill's going to challenge. This one I think is going to stand, unfortunately. Orioles are going to be out of challenges. This one's just going to barely clip the zone. Unfortunately. So Orioles are going to have to go old school the rest of the way. Uruguay with a chance, and no. Off of the set piece. They will have a throw-in, though, so they're still on the attack. But O'Neill down in the 1-2 count at the moment. Will swing and miss. Strike 3 on a fastball. Almost broke his bat. He's getting ready to. So O'Neill retired for the first time tonight. Brings up Samuel Basayo, who's 0 for 3. Again, still with a chance for the Orioles to add on a good bit more. But they're replaying the Ryan Ripken's talking about Kobe Mayo and his swing. I think the adjustments he's been making over the season have been working out. Will be the 50th pitch coming from Lord as Basayo fouls that one back for strike 1. Basayo would really be a good time for his first hit of the night. Would be real good. That's for sure. 2 guys warming in the bullpen for the Nationals, Poulin and Kent. Lord on the 51st pitch to Basayo throws upstairs with a fastball for ball 1. So Basayo much better against righties than lefties, batting against a righty at the moment. Though was unsuccessful against Brad Lord the first time up. In a 1-1 count here, though. Basayo knocks one high in the air, deep right field, but foul, unfortunately. That was a moonshot up to the upper decks over in foul territory. Just got out a little bit in front of that sweeper. So it is a loud second strike. Very close to being really good. Making it 6-1, but instead it is strike two. Basayo in a 1-2 count now against Brad Lord. Runners still on second and third, 2 outs. Saya will knock this one high in the air and foul again. Stays alive. So huge moment here for Big Sam to try and get the Orioles, give the Orioles a little bit more breathing room. 1-2 again is chopped foul. Changeup kind of rolls around home plate. We go again on the 1-2. So foul, ball, foul, foul, foul has been the sequence so far. Four-seamer sweeper, four-seamer, and changeup for Brad Lord. Sayo, the power hitter, against Lord, the reliever. Sayo will chop this one just foul on the first base line. So Basayo lucky to stay alive there. We go again for pitch number 7 of the sequence now, I believe. Uruguay looking to try and attack, gets rejected there. But should Basayo reach, it would be Leody Taveras up to bat, but Basayo needs to find a way to get on base for the first time tonight. In a 1-2 count, still against Brad Lord on the 56th pitch from the reliever. Will be up and away, fastball for ball 2. Basayo takes. That pitch was nowhere close. So Basayo obviously looking to get anything past the infield. The left side, the third base side is wide open. Basayo knocks one foul again. Knocks it behind home plate. So long at bat between Lord and Basayo. Anything opposite field probably is going to get through. Tarp's off section is massive over there in the upper deck. They are cheering on Basayo. See if he can get a hit here. 2-2 count between Lord and Basayo. Inside, ball 3, up and in. Runs the count full. So the runners will actually probably not be off because it's the second and third. But they're jumping over there in the Tarp Sauce section. Probably a good bit of Nats fans as well, I guess. But Basayo in the 3-2 against Lord will swing and miss. Strike 3. Snaps his bat over his knees. Fastball was above the zone. So Orioles do get 1, strand 2, but the lead is back to 2 for the Orioles. But Basayo, frustrated with himself, he has an 0 for 4 night. Shards of wood go everywhere. It's a very clean snap. That was the best thing he's done all night. Well, that and the tag at home plate in that one inning, couple innings ago. But so I'll take the 1 run. Take the Kobe Mayo RBI. Hopefully the Albernaz just keeps Tyler Wells out there because Wells has been pitching well. I mean, I guess you could do Rico and then Helsley for setup and close. I mean, maybe you do Yennier Cano and then Ryan Helsley. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind seeing Tyler Wells go another at least batter or 2 because he's been pitching well. But it will be Keber Ruiz, James Wood, and Curtis Mead up to bat. So the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Then it will be Leody Taveras, Jackson Holiday, and Blaze Alexander up to bat in the bottom of the 8th. Still 1-0 in favor of Spain against Uruguay. Spain playing the ball around the defensive side. 0-0 Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia. Oh, close play there around the goalie, but clears it over towards midfield, and that is almost out of bounds, but Spain's able to pass it well. That might have been a foul, but yellow card actually against a Uruguayan player, number 25. Just a poor tackle attempt as the Spanish player goes face planting into the ground. Might have actually been what's his name, Yamal Lamine or whatever's like the superstar they have. Just yeah, clips him around. Yeah, that was on Lamine Yamal, their superstar. I know that he gets kind of clipped in the back a little bit. So yellow card on Uruguay on Juan Manuel Sanabria. That's a very Latino name right there. So Grant Wolfram actually on the pitch for the O's. 3.63 ERA, 22.1 innings pitched. Did spend a little bit of time on the injured list. Opponent's hitting 290. Off of him, 1.34 whip. And has not given up a home run, I believe, is what that said. Does not walk a lot of guys either. First pitch to Keibert Ruiz is a curveball for strike one. Might have been a little outside, but called strike one. Colton Cowser will sub into center field. Leo Taveras bumps over to right. My guess is that means Tyler O'Neill's day is done. I assume. Keibert Ruiz skies this one over into shallow right field. Leo Taveras will run in, but it'll be Jackson Holliday catching it over the shoulder for out number one. So yeah, Tyler O'Neill's day is done for the O's. Actually a productive day there for Tyler. Obviously the last inning did not go as expected. Yennier Cano warming in the bullpen. Don't know if he's going to get the ninth or not, or if it'll be Ryan Helsley. But Cano warming nonetheless. Wolfram, sinker, four-seamer, sweeper, curveball, and slider for the lefty reliever. Going up against James Wood here. Throws the sinker a lot to lefties. Does not throw the four-seamer to lefties all that much. Though he looked more like a sinker than a four-seamer. But, or looked more like a four-seamer than a sinker. But I guess his sinker actually has a higher velocity than his four-seamer, which is interesting. But it's a strike one nonetheless. So 0-1 to James Wood. Throws strike two on a sinker at the top of the zone. 97 for good pitch there. So Wood in an 0-2 hole. Does have a hit. Doubled in this one, but is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Got stranded last time he was up, if I remember correctly. And check swing does not hold up. That is a 3-pitch strikeout for Grant Wolfram against James Wood. Yeah, I'm curious to see if they go Cano or Helsley here in the bottom of the ninth. Or top of the ninth, not bottom of the ninth. Just because Cano was warming and Helsley was not. But I don't know if that was just in case of emergency if Wolfram runs into trouble. But that is, yep. Wood is not able to hold up. So he goes down on 3 pitches. Brings up Curtis Mead, who's 1 for 3. Takes strike one on a curveball, bends right in there. But Mead also, pretty sure he also doubled. I think it's basically been all doubles for the Nats tonight. Pretty much been all doubles. Zach Kent still warming in the bullpen for the Nats as well. Mead takes upstairs, ball one with a fastball. Still no score in either of those World Cup games. Fouled out last time he was up to the catcher, did Curtis Mead, over by the first base dugout. Swing and a miss. Strike two on the curveball. Good pitch there from Wolfram. He is doing good work here in the top of the 8th. 8 pitches, 1 strike away from getting through 3 batters. O's bullpen looking to hold this ball game down going into these last few innings. Wolfram in a favorable count here against Curtis Mead. This next pitch will be taken for ball 2 on a curveball. Another Spanish player is down on the field holding his face. He is rolling on the field. We get another yellow card from the looks of it on a Uruguayan player. A very aggressive yellow card from the referee. 2-2 from Grant Wolfram. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on the sinker. A little bit outside. Strikeout nonetheless. So perfect 8th inning for Grant Wolfram. Just goes right through the order there on 10 pitches. So quickly gets the O's offense back up. Again, Taveras, Holliday, and Alexander. The O's looking to get a little bit more insurance here as we go to these last 2 innings of the game. And O's blew a 2-run lead in the 8th inning on Wednesday. Ryan Helsley did throw a scoreless 9th. And then they lost in the 10th inning, thanks to a combination of things that all went wrong At the same time, oh, Uruguay. Oh, no, goalie was in good position there. Oh, Uruguay still. Nope, intercepted there by Spain. No chance at the end. It was aggressive play there by the Spanish goalie, but it worked out. So getting to minute 60 soon. So a couple yellow cards for Uruguay, no red cards. Did see a red card in that Iraq and Senegal game. Senegal won that one 5-0. Probably could have scored a couple more goals. They were very close to scoring even more. That was a bloodbath. We got another foul on Uruguay here. Just a little late to the tackle. Get a couple subs on for Spain as well. Not sure. Again, I don't know who any of these people are. I know Yamal basically on Spain. That's about it. I was about to say Luis Suarez for Uruguay, but I don't think he's played in like 10 years. I just remember that he was on Uruguay at one point, and then he used to like bite people. That was about it. But I don't think he's played for a long while. Pretty sure he's in his 50s. Possession still very much in favor of Spain, almost 56%. Uruguay with an intercepted pass, though. They looked across. Oh, just a bad touch there. Spain's goalie able to receive it. Uruguay throws away a chance there. So Orioles have left 9 on base, so it has not been a very efficient night at the plate for the O's, but they have scored 3 runs. Zach Kent on to pitch for the Nationals, 5.79 ERA, 6 games pitched, 9.1 innings pitched, so not a huge sample size for Kent. Throws ball 1 on a curveball just outside to Leody Taveras, who switches over to the left side as the switch hitter. But Kent throws slider, four-seamer, curveball, and sinker. Not very good baseball savant metrics, that's for sure. Ball 2 as well. There's Ryan Helsley warming the bullpen, so the closer is now warming officially. So I think Cano was the break glass in case of emergency situation there in the 8th. That's going to be a strike 1. It's ball 3, but Orioles cannot challenge it, unfortunately. So it was some kind of pitch. I think it was might have been a sinker, either that or four-seamer, a little bit above the zone. Called strike 1, though. 2-1 here to Leody. Takes inside ball 3 on a slider. Let me see stat-wise for Zach Kent. Not much there. Also not quite fully updated as well on ESPN, at least. Taveras on 3-1 will foul this fastball away. 3-2. 7 strikeouts for Kent. 1.61 whip. Let's see. That's like standard. There we go. I just want standard stats. That's what I want. I was also started the season out on the Twins as well. I guess must have gotten DFA'd, I assume. 3-2 to Leody is... Oh, late call on the strike 3 on a pitch that was outside. Orioles, again, cannot challenge. So what should... Basically, a 5-pitch walk turns into a strikeout. Actually, more of a 6-pitch walk. Well, there's one pitch that Leody fouled off, but yeah. There are 5 balls thrown in that sequence, and Leody is out looking. So unfortunate there for Taveras. Bring up Jackson Holiday. So yeah, pitched 2 games for the Twins, 4.91 ERA. There, 3.2 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 earned, 2 homers, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts with the Twins. Coming into this, 4 runs, 4 earned, 1 homer, as Holiday is in an 0-2 hole at the moment. No walks, though, giving up 5 strikeouts for Kent as a national in 2026. Yes, I would also love one more run for the O's. Just make me feel a little bit easier. So 0-2 here for Holiday against Kent. We'll ground this one foul. Just barely foul down the first base line. Spain nearly with a chance to make it 2-0, but the shot goes well above the net. Set up perfectly. The shot was just terrible. Kind of like chip shot that just did not work. Holiday again, 0-2 hole against Zach Kent. Will foul this one away again. Now, fastball was above the zone. Holiday gets a piece of it. So Brewers flamethrower Jacob Mizorowski, as Holiday is going to strike out here on the curveball, but threw the third hardest pitch ever recorded today, which is pretty crazy. A cross in from Uruguay is booted out of there. Not sure if that's a goal kick or corner. I think it's a goal kick. But yeah, Uruguay does not have a shot on goal is what they're saying right now. Only 3 shots total. And first pitch to Blaze Alexander is outside for ball 1 on a slider. Showing someone on the bench or someone who got subbed out for Uruguay. Not sure what was happening there. Yeah, Cal Ripken Sr.'s at the game. Or, sorry, not Cal Ripken. Say Cal Ripken Jr., then his son Ryan Ripken is calling the game. Cal Jr. at the game, sitting in his usual spot. 2-0 on Blaze Alexander as well. I got to chat with Cal once before. He's very nice. Big dude. Very big dude. Alexander swings at ball 3, so it's a 2-1 count instead on the foul ball. Yeah, I met Cal once last year at my work. He's a cool guy. Chatted with him a little bit. So he's very humble from what little I've interacted him with. 2-1 to Alexander will be fouled away on a fastball. 2-2. But his son Ryan is in the booth as the color commentator for the O's tonight. I assume for this full series. Should see the return of Ben McDonald soon enough, given that the College World Series, I believe, has ended now. 2-2 for Alexander, taken for ball 3 on a curveball. But Ben McDonald also works for ESPN, and they do the College World Series. Same with Kevin Brown. He does the more softball stuff. He's McDonald's usually calls a lot of the World Series ones for the men's teams. I believe that series is over now. Alexander takes ball 4 in the dirt. First walk for Kent as a Dodger. Why am I saying Dodger? This is the Nationals. Where am I getting Dodgers from? They were last week. But runner on base, 2 outs here now for the O's. Flips the lineup over to Taylor Ward, who's 3 for 4 on the night. Actually, didn't realize he had 3 hits. 3 singles for Taylor Ward in this game. After striking out to lead off the game for the O's. Ward will swing at the first pitch and is going to be booted off the first baseman and unable to be corralled by Kent. So what should have been out number 3 was booted by the first baseman Garcia, ricocheted back towards a running in Zach Kent, who then couldn't corral it as it kind of rolls under him. So it is, I'm assuming this is going to be an error on Luis Garcia Jr. But it's a sharp grounder just off the knee, I think, actually, of Garcia. And then Kent can't field it. But it is, it's more off the glove, actually, than the knee. But it takes it's unfortunate there for the Nationals. Henderson swings through first pitch curveball for strike 1. He's 0 for 4 on the night. So it'd be great for him to find a hit here. It's, popped out, grounded into a fielder's choice, and struck out. Henderson will take strike 2 on a curveball there. So he's in an 0-2 hole. Yeah, Cal definitely seems like a nice guy, Kevin. I agree. So 20 pitches for Zach Kent here in the bottom of the 8th. Get the hydration break there in the game for that second half. Henderson in the 0-2 hole knocks one high in the air and into foul territory and out of play. So we will go again. So batting in the 9th will be Andres Chaparro, CJ Abrams, and Dylan Cruz against Ryan Helsley. Unless the Orioles score a ton here and don't need to bring in Helsley, that would be nice. But most likely this will be a Ryan Helsley appearance, try and earn the save. Blue save last week against the Dodgers on stream too. Henderson takes ball 1 upstairs. Luckily, if Helsley were to blow the save, the Orioles would still have a chance because they're playing at home. But let's not have that happen. Let's just have the Orioles win this game. No funny business. 1-2 to Henderson in the meantime will be grounded foul on the curveball. So Yennier Cano also warming the bullpen, maybe just in case Henderson like hits a 3-run bomb here to make it 6-1. That's my guess is why he's warming. Would be cool if that happened. I certainly wouldn't mind that. And a 1-2 hole, though, at the moment for Gunnar Henderson. Also 0 for 4. Looking for a first hit. Will knocks the one high in the air and not very far. I got excited for a half second, and it's going to be just a sky-high pop up to James Wood over in right field. So it's a little underneath that was Gunnar Henderson. He's 0 for 5 on the night. Ryan Helsley will be on the pitch for the Orioles. Yeah, again, it will be Chaparro, Abrams, and Cruz for the Nationals. 1 hit between those 3. 4 strikeouts between those 3. No walks as well. No walks issued at all for the Orioles through 8 innings. Let's hope that continues. Box score did not want to update there. Yeah. Loud exciting out there for Gunnar Henderson. Was very close to being something big, but just a little underneath. So he goes 0 for 5. The batting average dips even more for Gunnar as well. So Uruguay still without a shot on goal tonight. Spain with only 1 more shot total for them, but they have the 1 shot on goal, and that was also a goal period. So again, should these results hold, Cape Verde would move into second, and Uruguay would fall to third and probably miss the knockout stages, which would be pretty big. Spain also in the driver's seat. Yeah. If these results hold, Spain and Cape Verde advance. Uruguay is eliminated. Saudi Arabia, I think, has already been eliminated. I don't think they have any chance to make it. Don't know. I'm assuming that game is still scoreless as well between Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde. It is, in fact, still scoreless there. So Uruguay is on the outside looking in at the moment. They are trying to find a way back into this tournament. Ryan Helsley on the pitch. Hell's bells ringing in Camden Yards here in the top of the 9th. Helsley again pitched a scoreless 9th inning back on Wednesday. Well, batting 076 with an 0-2 count is gonna that I didn't know it was that bad. That is really bad. Yeah, that is not what you want to see if you're a fan of Gunnar Henderson. Is that kind of stat right there, Kevin? Helsley, 7 out of 8 save opportunities. We saw the 1 blown save last week on stream. 15 games pitched, was on the injury list for all of May and a little bit of June. Throws strike 1 on a curveball there to Paro, I believe. That looks like Chaparro, right? Nope. Yorbit Vivas is the pinch hitter. I was going to say, it didn't look like Chaparro. I love his name, Yorbit Vivas, the pinch hitter. And we'll chop this one foul over to his first base coach on the splitter. So a quick 0-2 hole for Vivas. Actually go back to Ryan Helsley, a couple tabs on Baseball Savant because he was the last pitcher I had up before I restarted the tabs because he was obviously the one who blew the game for the O's last week. But Helsley, 4-seamer, slider, splitter, curveball, mostly the 4-seamer and the slider. Slider. Like combination slider and splitter is the splitter. Call it a spider, maybe. I don't know. And 0-2 count here for Vivas. There is first fastball, 4-seamer, below the zone though at 100. Helsley was not able to locate his 4-seamer at all last week, though was much better on Wednesday against the Angels. 1-2 count at the moment for Vivas. Orioles up 2 here in the top of the 9th. 1-2 is going to be grounded over to Pete Alonso at first. He fields it cleanly and gets the first out of the 9th inning. 1 down, 2 to go. Brings up CJ Abrams. It's how last week started as well. Got first batter out. That was Freddie Freeman. That was Mookie Betts who homered. Then it was Tommy Edman who popped out. Well, I think there was a base run in between. Oh, no, I think it was just Tommy Edman who popped out. Then it was a walk, and then the double, and then the error. First pitch, strike, curveball to CJ Abrams. So let's not have that happen this time. Let's have a nice, clean 9th inning for Ryan Helsley. That would be very nice. Started out with first pitch strikes on curveballs to both batters right now. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on the splitter from CJ Abrams, who's over 3 on the night. Has struck out twice as well. So Helsley in the driver's seat at the moment, working against CJ Abrams. There is check swing slider. Does he go? Yes, he does. The ball skips away from Basayo. The throw is in time. Mass and Crew was not up to date, but it is going to be a strikeout throwout in the end. Abrams, I think, a little late to recognize because the call was a little late. Basayo a little lucky there as to the slow reaction time for CJ Abrams. So it's curveball in the dirt, bounces away from Basayo. He runs after it. Abrams late break into it because I think the strikeout call was slightly late as well. So it is a strikeout nonetheless. 2 down, 1 to go. Nobody on here for Dylan Cruz. Strike 1 on the slider. Good slider there from Ryan Helsley. Cruz doubled his last time he was up, though was stranded. Helsley does not throw that curveball a lot, but has thrown it pretty well so far tonight. There is the slider. Not the curveball, but another break ball. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Helsley is a strike away from closing down this game. So once again, Helsley is in the driver's seat against Dylan Cruz. 0-2, 2 outs. Nobody on, top of the 9th. Orioles up by 2 as well. One more strike will end it. Next pitch is outside with the slider, taken for ball 1. Not a super competitive pitch there. Probably didn't locate it all that well. But righty on righty matchup. Have not seen... I think I've seen 1 fastball so far from Helsley. Been a lot of the slider, bit of the curveball, bit of the sinker, splitter. There is called ball 2. Cruz was going to challenge that if it was strike 3. It was in fact ball 2 on the slider. Just a little low. So Cruz stays alive here. Worked himself back into a 2-2 count. Next pitch is check swing. This is going to be a grounder over to arranging Henderson at short. Throw at first base is in time for the out. Orioles win 3-1 over the Nationals. Great play from Gunnar Henderson to end it, who did have that error early on in the game, though that one was erased by double play. Helsley gets a little bit of redemption after last week. Orioles take the opener of the series against Washington in this Battle of the Beltway, part 2 of this season. So Orioles do leave 11 on base, but only needed 2, got 3. So it was, in fact, Tyler O'Neill, the winning run. How many times can you say that? But Ryan Helsley looking more like the Ryan Helsley we saw early in the season. Sharp today, even without really throwing that fastball all that often. Threw a lot of breaking balls, was locating the breaking ball well. Orioles, honestly, pitching as a whole, shuts down this high-powered Nationals offense. Good defense as a whole as well for the Orioles tonight. Henderson with a great play to end it. Gets Cruz out by a step. And Orioles advance to 39-44. Getting close to that wildcard spot as well. See if they can have a good homestand here against the Nationals and the White Sox coming up after this. Though that will not be the stream that I'm going to be watching. Or I'm doing next week's stream. Will in fact be let me check, because I forget who it is. The next week's stream will be in July. First July stream. It will be against the Reds of Cincinnati, who have really struggled in the month of June. After a good start in April and an okay May, they have fallen off hard. So that currently that matchup predictor is exactly 50-50. Interestingly enough, Kobe Mayo gets the post-game interview, 2 doubles, RBI, and also scored a run. So that will do it. Next stream will be next Thursday, Final Fantasy VII. I'm on the end of chapter 11, basically. There, so getting closer towards the end. Somewhat. We're getting there. But yeah, Next Friday I will be odd time, I believe. Let me actually check my work schedule to make sure I'm not going to be running late. I don't think I will be. But yeah, next Friday will be... Actually, I'm not even working at all next Friday. Why did I take... I don't even think I took off. I think it's just I'm not working that day. All right, well, next Friday I will be on time for Orioles Reds. But Orioles now, I think it's going to be Bradish and then Boz pitching the rest of this series. I think Foster Griffin pitches tomorrow for the Nationals. He's been really good. So yeah, the box score also didn't really want to update, but yeah, final, there you go. 38, that should update, should be 39 and 44, then 41 and 42, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Orioles with the win. That'll do it for this one. Yeah, I'm just going to wrap this up. Hopefully the stream actually ends properly and I don't have the thing that happened yesterday where the stream just didn't want to end. But yeah, that'll be all for this one. Kevin, as always, have a good night, my friend. And